Hey there, you guys. Welcome back to another video. I want to kind of go over about Kathleen Kennedy leaving Star Wars again. My original video, the first one, I know it's kind of different for the channel. I've been talking about Call of Duty, but also I'm a Star Wars fan, so let's get into it. I've been feeling pretty good about it, and I'm excited for it. If you guys are prequels fans or original trilogy fans, or please, God, don't tell me you guys are sequel fans. If you guys are, just let me know in the comments and just sharing your excitement about all this, because I am very happy to say that, man, like Disney's going to go in the right direction. I have faith in this, and I want to see what they can do learning from all this experience, because it has been 10 years, damn near 11 years actually, since we've been getting a lot of the unfortunate things from, Kathleen Kennedy being president of Disney, or almost Disney, Star Wars, and then messing up a lot of stuff within the franchise and just making it not the same, and just tormenting it from where it started and where it's gone. Just giving it a direction that's away from what George Lucas wanted and went away from what the fans really were appreciative of. Me, I'm a prequels fan. I grew up with Lego Star Wars, and I grew up with Episode 3, watching that in theaters, and I've always been a Star Wars fan. And so I never really understood why the hate of George Lucas, even though I'm, when you're older, you understand why he got hate, but it's just never been like justified, because that hate was something else. Yeah, with George Lucas getting a lot of hate from the prequels and stuff like that. When I was a kid, when you was a prequels fan, you really just enjoyed the atmosphere of the stories and the world building and everything. And I just loved where the direction was going. Of course, when I got older, I started appreciating his storytelling and really just got my ideas from just watching his films, and just to narrow it down, because there's so much I want to say about George Lucas and my passion towards it. Just to condense it as best as I can. I really love his storytelling. It's just peak cinema, and it's phenomenal for what he did for movie history. And I've always had this found respect for him, and I just find it unfortunate that he got treated the way he did when he was still in control of Star Wars, and then after, when he gave Star Wars to Kathleen Kennedy and to Disney. It's just a really bad deal, a really bad deal, and it's just unfortunate. But of course, he is making his museum that will open up soon, and it will share off his legacy with that. And I'm really, really happy to see that. And part of me always wanted him to come back into Star Wars, and kind of just make his version of the three sequels, as he always wanted to. But he's not going to come back. He's done. He said it many times where it's just like a breakup, and you don't want to come back to that. He's getting to a point where he wants to move on with his life, and with the time he has and everything, he wants to do something that he is passionate about. And Star Wars is going to bring him back a lot of pain, because he got treated a certain way. And so hopefully this new direction that Star Wars is given, it will be given to a person that has the same drive and the same passion and ambiguity as George Lucas did. And Dave Filoni, and my boy Jon Favreau. So hopefully those two, and and Sam Ritter too. Sam Ritter, of course, they got to play Star Killer. Those three, if you had those three trio right there, would be solid. I think would be in the best hands possible if you had those three, because they all have been under George Lucas, around when Lucas was still working within Star Wars, so they have experience and they have this idea of what Lucas wants and how Star Wars is really told, and they have this smart IQ, so you have sources of people that you can help out with, and I think it's possible. But yeah, just seeing those films, just going through that within the sequels, was so disappointing. I mean, I never been disappointed watching films like that in my life. Where, yeah, The Force Awakens was good. It was fine, because it was just, man, Star Wars is back. But then you actually watch everything else, and just like, damn, like, what the hell are they doing with The Last Jedi? And just like, why are they adding all these scenes? Why isn't Luke acting like how he's supposed to be acting? Even the actor Luke Skywalker was like, this is not how Luke Skywalker would act. It's just terrible. And then The Rise of Skywalker, where they just rushed in everything and it made no sense, and it had no plan and no structure. I really feel bad for the actors and actresses that was a part of this, because it's just like their legacies will, be tarnished, because it's not like they were happy making that stuff. It's just like, I always looked at, like, when you always look at the making of Star Wars, especially with the original trilogy and the prequels too, when George was around, everybody on set will be having a good time. Everyone will be laughing and be chilling, and be this energy where it's just people were happy to be there and be a part of something that's special and know that's going to make history, and just being a part of that. But it was just like, when you see the expressions off the people in the sequel trilogy, they look like they don't know what the hell they're doing up there. They don't know. It's just, there's no impact, and they will not want to come back to that franchise no matter how much you're paying them. John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and just, I feel bad for John Boyega, because it's just like that. Finn, there's so much potential they could have done within that character, but then they end up wasting his time, and they wasted Daisy Ridley's time, and she got a lot of hate from it for no reason, because it's, you never want to aim your frustration towards the actress, but the writers and the people behind the project, of course. But just like, man, like, I haven't seen her, like, for a long time into any work, ever since she did Star Wars, and that kind of is messed up. It's like, it's that negative effect that those franchises had on those actors and stuff that was in that. So just a wasted potential. Like, there was no storyline with the sequels. I mean, nothing. They was just making stuff up. The vision was just getting broader and just more dimmer as the movies went on. And I'm like, dude, what were y'all thinking? A lot of the times, I'm just like, you can't do that with a well-loved franchise. But obviously they did, because the only thing they cared about was making money and not having a story. And with no story, it's just like, you're not going to make any money. So it's kind of stupid. It's wasting everybody's time. It's wasting your time, the actor's time, visual artist's time, the marketing. Everybody's time is wasted when you don't, tie something special together. So that's just the unfortunate thing. And I just don't know what they were thinking when it came to that. And just hopefully they can learn from their mistakes afterwards, and make a better sequel and make a better line of films. And the announcements they got with this new Star Wars film that's coming out with Ryan Gosling, sometime soon. I mean, hopefully that's solid, and kind of its own unique universe, and it's doing its own thing. And if it's going to stem away from Skywalker, let's see how that is. They announced it, but I gotta see it. I see trailer, I gotta get a vibe off of it. I ain't gonna lie, with the Mandalorian movie, it's like, I haven't watched. I seen the first season, the second season, but the third season I heard people saying it wasn't good, so I never really got a chance to watch it. So there's that. But just seeing where the potential lies and everything with Star Wars. It's just such a big franchise. I don't know how they have dropped the ball this many times and took this many amount of L's. Like, of course, there's some W's and stuff like that within the time Star Wars was underneath Kathleen Kennedy, but but a lot of times it was just a lot of misses and just too many. The damages was just too severe for them to make a recover, and it's just bad, man. I honestly I do believe that, of course, they can have time to heal and get better from this, but it's going to take one good film just to come out and be like, okay, to earn our trust. It needs consistency and something well written, well executed, and make it feel like Star Wars. There are people online right now that are making AI videos of Star Wars, and they have, it feels something like George Lucas would make. And I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it is so beautifully made. The music is there, the dialogue is there, and it felt like something George Lucas made because of the timing. And if you ever watched the prequels or the original trilogy, it has that same feeling and that same charm to it. And these are fans making it. So if you give the IP to the fans, actual fans, I think we would be in a good spot. And we'll actually have some type of passion there. And bringing the franchise back, because you can't give it to people that don't know anything about the franchise, that are guessing or trying to it just doesn't work. It's not gonna fly. It's just gonna be a big ass mess that unfortunately they're gonna have to clean up at the end. Of course, they'll make some type of money, but it's not gonna really build off any franchise. You ever notice, like, I always say this. There's never been a TV series out of the sequels. If you ever notice that, there's never been like, oh, like what's Poe doing, or what's Rey doing, what's Finn doing. All these characters that were built up within the sequel movies. There's never been not one TV show, TV spinoff, or anything. And I'm like, why are we doing spinoffs of random characters, respectively, Mandalorian, but we're not doing it off the sequels? You know what I'm saying? That's so disrespectful. Like, just, they done them dirty. Now, if they could do, the sequel characters right and justice in some way, where we're tagging them along, I would be happy to see that. But, they deserve more. Because, as much as I don't like the sequels, I just don't like seeing people, the actors and stuff like that put their blood, sweat, and tears suffer as much as the movies did suffer. I want everyone to win, and I want Star Wars to win, most importantly. So let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this new transition in life. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And if you guys are Star Wars fans, let me know too, because I'm a Star Wars fan as well. May the Force be with you. Peace.